Okay, welcome back to Mittenron, the Empire of the Grey Knights.
Peggy 18.
Sorry. Left my channel unmuted and then got distracted by the advert they put on. Not actually sure what it was what it was for. Anyway, so I've been a little bit busy. It's been 5 days I think since I last streamed, so I do build on a daily basis. So quite a bit's gone up. Fairly certain none of this housing was here. That certainly wasn't, because I only built it about 5 minutes ago. This housing, and this big mansion thing, I don't know what it is. Yeah, this has all gone up in the last 4 or 5 days. But, I'm filling in. This is all I'm doing at the moment. I've been putting up houses into the spaces that exist between the larger buildings, larger structures. It's not gone too badly. I don't have much else left to do, which brings up the question of what the hell am I going to do next? In fairness, I actually know the answer. I'm going to build a transportation hub. But that brings up two questions. What is this transportation hub going to actually include, and where is it going to go? The first question, what's it going to include, is fairly straightforward. It's going to include a railcart terminal. The main western underground railway system is only about 1 kilometer north of here, so connecting it to that will be pretty straightforward, relatively speaking. I tend to use the clone command when it comes to building the underground tunnel system. This is because tunneling, building things underground, always requires nearly double the amount of work, because not only do you have to clear out the empty space in which the building will exist, but you also have to dig out the wall in order to fill it back in again, which is where the frustration tends to come in, which is why I'm more than happy to use the clone command to shortcut all of that nonsense. So, yeah, okay, so the minecart ride, fine, that's pretty straightforward. This is turning into a major city, so a minecart connection is appropriate. It's obviously not going to be a multi-purpose, there won't be a dock component unless I put it by the coast, so that's a possibility, I suppose. And then the third thing is essentially a sort of airport, or what I think they used to call an aerodrome. Would it serve any particular purpose? So, yeah, I need, I mean, there's plenty of space here. Don't know what the hell I'm supposed to do with it. Transportation hub, though. The aerodrome, it's like an area for allowing the arrival of the floating ships that I've built in other places. Possibly Griffin landing, which would also require a griffinry. So yeah, sizable project somewhere. Not too sure. I didn't want to extend this direction, but I might not have any choice, because I've run into a problem with extending this way, which is I haven't left any space for the roads. Yeah. There's one road can be extended here into this area, and then the other road sort of ended here. I mean, it could go under the building, I suppose. There's plenty of room for it. Could go around, but that's kind of awkward. And just eventually come out into this area, but I'm thinking that if I do something like that, that's going to be saved for an extension to the whole city, something extra to build. The alternative is that the road here somehow is going to have to come around the side of the quadrithesia and spill out into this area. Probably need to do that as well as this road. Connect them both together. Yeah. I think I've run out of a little bit of steam, perhaps. I don't know. Like, it's like I don't... Yeah, I don't quite know exactly where I'm going with this now, and that might be a good idea for me to go somewhere else where I can start fresh, do brand new stuff, and just move on from there, and come back here when I feel a little bit clearer headed about exactly what I'm supposed to do next. But aside from the aside from the aerodrome, I'm not too sure what else is left to go here that isn't just a repetition of something I've already put up. But, yeah, so, like, you know, housing, plenty of housing has gone up now. Which is okay, you know, it's a city after all, so housing is important to making it, to fleshing it out. I have put up quite a bit of the housing now, filling in a lot of the space that was here. But it's kind of, yeah, it's definitely at that point now where I don't want to just be putting up houses for the next week. It's not particularly enjoyable as a builder. So, so housing, yeah, so the aerodrome and the housing, and then one thing on top of that is a tool tower. I think I may have done one while recording. I'm not sure. Can't think at the moment where the closest tool tower is to this location. The tall tower is literally as it sounds. It is a very tall tower based on the Fibonacci sequence. You start with a like a radius. Pick whatever radius you want. Create the circle for the tower, and then you build the tower up one floor. Then you shrink the radius by a single block. That's the radius, not the diameter. And then you build 2 floors. And then you shrink the radius by another block and build 3 floors. And then you shrink it by another block and build 5 floors. And then finally, if you started off big enough, you will build 8 floors more at the final radius. I have built one tower very far north of here that I don't think I've seen shown on camera while streaming. But it started off with such a huge thickness that it was not possible to finish the top of the tower because I hit the world ceiling. Which was okay, I was fine with that. Rather than ask to have the world ceiling extended, I just simply incorporated the failure to finish the building into the story of the building, and moved on. But most of my tall towers are not anywhere near that kind of size. The building I've just been talking about is called the Magna Tal for a reason. So yeah, I don't plan on ever building a tower that size. So yeah, the most likely thing is I'm going to I should what? Yeah, I could put a tall tower in here. I could incorporate the tall tower into the aerodrome, since the tall towers are usually one way in which I incorporate the like the landing method, so the ships will dock with the tall tower, and people will have a means of climbing down inside the tower to get into the city. So, you know, that's going to be the way forward when I do this, do it. But yeah, having said that, I did try to move away from tall towers for a while. I became self-conscious. A guy that I know from my days playing Star Wars Galaxies, when I told him that I built in Minecraft, his first question was, "Are you one of those guys that builds giant towers as a penis substitute all over the landscape?" And I was like, "No, that's not me." Like, yeah, I built tall towers all over the place, and I am now totally self-conscious about looking at any of them, and can't do it without thinking, am I really just building giant penises all over the landscape? And on top of that, yeah, you know, I think that's a really good spot to stop talking. So this will be edited down for video, which I'll post onto YouTube. Cut it off pretty much at this point, possibly before I start talking about penises. And then I'll just carry on streaming for a little while I carry on fiddling with this. I may even get around to working out the location of the aerodrome. Although I'm thinking, occurs to me, I could just put it up and put down the floor plan and still walk away. I don't see any particular reason to keep staying here. I've been here a couple of weeks now. Maybe 3, in fact. It's a long time. And, yeah, I would like to not be here.